Your house is an asset. It's just not your asset, right? Your house is the asset of the banking system. Whether you have a mortgage or you don't have a mortgage, your house is still the asset of the banking system. You, as the mortgage holder, signing the mortgage, I think it's Latin that mortgage stands for death contract. So mort and gage is death and contract. The mortgage, you are the asset of the banker, right? So it's the banker's best interest to get more people connected and signed up to this system so they have more assets to their system. So let me explain this and go into a little bit further. So I was at a bucks party with one of my mates. He had in his backyard recently, and they had everyone come over, and I was there and I was talking to a couple of his mates, and I was talking about the loudness of we're talking business, and we're talking about the drums and all that sort of stuff going. And then I was like, everybody's house that's around here, people think, I'm going to pay off my mortgage, right? Everyone's trying to pay off their mortgage and pay out their debt. Someone thinks they can go and pay out a mortgage and they go, okay, I'm going to stop paying 3% interest. Like, that's the dumbest thing, right? If you're in this world today in 2022 and you have debt at 3% interest, inflation is greater than 3% interest, right? If you're paying off 3%, you have to, let's say you've got $1 million debt, you have to go out and earn $1 million to pay out that debt. But if you had $1 million in your account and you have $1 million loan, you're just saying you can't get a better return than 3%. 3% isn't even keeping up with inflation today. But let's go back another couple of steps. If you had to earn $1 million to pay out your $1 million debt, you'd probably have to earn $1.5 million, pay all the taxes, and then pay off that debt. It's very, very rigged game, right? And that's why a lot of people are failing in it, and they're becoming trapped in the system. Cash flow is important, the capital is important, and being able to control assets is important. Very, very important. But when most people are working out how to save some cash flow, but they're not looking at how can I create more assets. When the bank is growing its asset base, they're getting more people signed up to mortgages, they're getting larger mortgage amounts being written, and they're getting more cash flow coming in through their bank. So the whole system is designed, specifically the banking system. Your house has become a derivative. They need people to enter this system, and that's why they incentivize them, right? You've got first home agreements. Currently, you could get about $50,000 as a first home buyer to buy a brand new property. They're just stimulus packages from the government, which is the middle management to this system, to incentivize for more people to be able to go back to the banking system, collect more debt, and pay more for these assets. Ultimately, if we look at the greater fool theory, which is, someone has something and they go sell it to the next person, next person, next person. If it's like musical chairs and the chairs disappear and the lights come on, who's holding the bag? And that is something that you need to be looking at. Like we hear about, the property market's going to explode. We're going to see house prices crash by 30%, etc. No, if the whole system was to crash, if anything was to go wrong like that, what would happen is not just the house prices would crash. If the house prices came back 20%, how many loans were originated for property transactions in the last 3 or 4 years? If the property market came back by 20%, that means that the bank would have no security left in the deal, right? That means that the whole banking and finance system that underpins everything, which controls your government, which controls your everything in society, would be at risk of imploding.